I feel like I don't need to worry how much compression I'm doing with this one. I make so many songs and records with these settings on vocals. It works really well. Exciting news, you will want to watch this because a lot has been done to this bad boy here. Directly from the makers of the mighty distressor, Empirical Labs, Arousor Rev 3 is here with a lot of new features. Let's take a look. Hello everyone, welcome back to MixFest TV. Hope you're having a great day. Before we start, please check the info box down below for my mixing courses on Pro Mix Academy, free plugins, discounts, and special offers. And if you want to support the channel, but most important, if you really want to learn professional mix and mastering, access the already big and always growing library, members only content, hours of in-depth mix and mastering courses, videos, and tutorials here on the channel without having to sign on another site. Click the join button down here. See all the perks of becoming a MixFest TV member, which includes mix consultations with me via Skype or email. Let's get to the video. So the ultimate evolution of Empirical Labs' flagship compressor plugin has arrived. Arousor Rev 3. Right away, let's take a look at what are these new features at a first glance, and let me tell you, they're very exciting. They listened to the users and they implemented what everybody wanted and then some. With the addition of not one, but two OPTO modes here, A and B. A lot of people were missing the beloved OPTO mode on the distressor. They listened, they added it, and I'll explain you why two OPTO modes. They also added two more ratio that you can select by pressing Alt here, 6.5 and 7. And you can see they turn orange just like the OPTO controls here on saturation, on frequency, and everything else. But the good thing is you can use these two additional ratio even when OPTO is not selected. So you have even more versatility and option than on the hardware. The other exciting feature is the extended panel and controls for the soft clipping module, the saturation. By clicking the E button here, you can see you can now add second harmonics, and also you can place the clipper pre or post compression. That's pretty cool. And if you're not familiar with the Arousor yet, these blue dots that you can find basically on every knob aside the big white at the top, those indicates the settings the hardware distressor would be at if you had variables, detector sidechain, and variable saturation. The OPTO mode that you can find on the hardware distressors was really a feature that a lot of people were missing in the plugin, and they added it. Before telling you why there are two modes and all there is to say about this OPTO mode, let's just hear how the OPTO mode sounds on a vocal. We'll start with OPTO A.
All I ever wanted was to stand my ground. Big words to confuse and spin your mind around. But every little step just takes me further down. I found my soul just waiting in the lost and found.
Listen to how smooth, and I hate the word, but it's the right one here, warm this OPTO mode sound, and how when I start compressing a lot, it nails the behavior and the pleasant artifact the original LA2A has.
But every little step just takes me further down. I found my soul just waiting in the lost and found.
I'm hitting 10 dB of compression, is not even budging. And if you notice, when I click A or B, you can see these orange numbers appear around the plugin, because when you click one of the two OPTO modes, it automatically sets all the parameter to match the hardware unit emulated, except for input and output. Attack, release, you can see saturation as well, you can see the detector sidechain as well, and the cutoff. They all set automatically. Now for A, you have an attack of 8 milliseconds and a release of 500 milliseconds. With B, you have an attack of 2.5 milliseconds and a release of 400, so a little faster, okay? Why they did this? Because everybody knows that, especially on vintage units, the OPTO couplers, the OPTO cell responsible for the compression on units like LA2A, they all act a little different one to another because of component tolerance, because a lot of factors. The guys at Empirical Labs decided to model two cells and to give you two options. One, the original Uray from the 80s, and the other one, the new one, which now you can find under different names like Canetech, Black Lion, just to name a few. So you have two different timings, especially important the release, and two different behaviors, and it really nails the action of that unit. To get even closer to that, after measuring the units, they decided to add the two alternative ratios, like I said, 6.5 and 7. Let's start playing with this, listen to how it sounds, and then we'll talk about the soft clipping panel in detail.
All I ever wanted was to stand my ground.
All right, please pay attention. Listen to the difference just switching from A to B. The first word that it gets compressed. This is A.
All I ever wanted was to stand my ground.
And the release. And this is B.
All I ever wanted was to stand my ground.
Now that's cool. You can totally hear the differences. The attack is so obvious, the release as well, of these two OPTO cells.
I know the season's ripe for change. It's changing all around. I know the season's ripe for change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you've arranged. They're tearing me down. Where is the peacefulness of mine? I know the season's ripe for change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you've arranged.
Now that saturation sounds really nice. Can you hear it? It breaks really nice.
I know the season's ripe for change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you've arranged. They're tearing me down. Where is the peacefulness of mine? I know the season's ripe for change. It's changing all around.
It really brings up that low mid grit that is very, very close to the distressor. Now, let's open the new extended panel for the soft clipper for the saturation section. So right now I have it pre-compressor. Let's switch.
I know the season's ripe for change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you've arranged. They're tearing me down. Where is the peacefulness of mine?
All right, so of course, depending on the settings of your input and output and how much you're compressing, how much is the output, I always advise you guys to level match the pre and post compression, of course. This will change the action of the saturation. Another cool thing is now you can add second harmonic. Let's see how that sounds.
I know the season's ripe for change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you've arranged. They're tearing me down. Where is the peacefulness of mine? I know the season's ripe for change. It's changing all around.
It's very subtle. I absolutely love this. I mean, even if I'm exaggerating, I'm in the red with the settings. The second harmonic is like very, very musical and it's very subtle. This can be easily used on like complex material like pianos or strings or big pads just to increase the harmonic content and the density without changing the tone of the material. I really like this. It comes, of course, with presets. You can see here bass and answer. We can start using that on bass, but you can also see Big Acoustic 76 because remember, the distressor can emulate a lot of classic compressor. 76, DBX, in this case LA2A as well as the original unit. But here we have OPTO A, old T4, and OPTO B, new T4, which are also a go-to on bass. So I'm gonna just try this on bass. Really, really nice. Let's try it on drums. You see, having the high-pass filter on the detector, it allows you to compress like a full drum bus like here and not even sweating, and that snap the distressor has, it's unmistakable. You hear how organic it reacts when you start changing. One function that I really like about the Arousor is the attack modification that changes the shape of the attack, and if you really want to get that exaggerated snap, but how the input and output and the attack modification and change the soft clipping action of it. I'm gonna try on this loop more like a grungy fire or something like that, so I'm gonna really exaggerate the settings and the saturation and see what we get, maybe blend with the dry signal. What about the revet settings, which would be the nuke settings? So let me put this at Unity again and try that. It brings up all the details and it has a really cool saturation. I want to try it on another vocal with a more fast pattern without going into the OPTO.
Feel the rhythm, feel the bass, feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it. Feel the rhythm, feel the bass, feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it. Feel the rhythm, feel the bass, feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it. Feel the rhythm, feel the bass.
You can hear the second harmonic more on material like this. It is, you know, it depends all on the material how obvious the effect is gonna be. This is really cool.
Feel the rhythm, feel the bass, feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it. Feel the rhythm, feel the bass, feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it. Feel the rhythm, feel the bass, feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it.
Yeah, it's really cool. You know, if you know me, I don't take prisoners where I compress vocals, especially with the distressor. I feel like I don't need to worry how much compression I'm doing with this one because it's not budging at all. One thing that I often do on vocals is just use the revet setting and just tap it a little bit.
Feel the rhythm, feel the bass, feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it. Feel the rhythm, feel the bass, feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it. Feel the rhythm, feel the bass, feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time.
You will be surprised how many times this setting works on vocals. You know, you look at it, it's oh my god, it's too much. It's like you're in limit mode. It actually works so well on so many vocals. I make so many songs and records with these settings on vocals. It works really well. Listen to this one. You don't lose the snap, and the pattern actually is enhanced, but is controlled.
Feel the rhythm, feel the bass, feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it. Feel the rhythm, feel the bass, feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it.
A lot of it is how you set the release, because if you put it too fast, it's gonna sound speedy. But again, I move this release on the Arousor and it behaves like the distressor. It does what I'm expecting when I use this kind of presets, so to speak, that I have for vocals. And yeah, it's pretty damn amazing. The new features are actually extremely useful. I myself missed the OPTO mode on this one. This one has two and they sound pretty damn good. So I think this is it for this video. They really got a lot closer to their own original hardware, the distressor, with this one. They made this plugin sound bomb. You saw me before using the old version when I ran out of distressors or fats of channels in my mixes and in my courses. This is probably gonna be the very first video on the Arousor Rev 3 from Empirical Labs. We have mutual respect, long relationship, and it's always cool when the best in the business pick MixBus TV to present cool stuff like this. If you haven't checked out the reviews of the hardware, distressor, fatso, check them out, they're all on the channel. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and please turn on the notification, otherwise you're gonna miss everything. Stay safe, see you next time.
Hands on my neck, hands grip my throat. Lift me up.